Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Loudmouth Podcast with me, your host, Luke Holm Brown, and my
Me,
lovely
yeah.
co-hosts.
It's me, Ryan Perry.
Fuck, I forgot his name. I don't think it's now.
It's
Whoa,
Benjamin
you had
Farrell.
another plan, but it's all good.
We were going to have an Alfie Akers jab there,
That's
but
it. The Alfie Akers. Hi, my name's Alfie Akers. I'm a Star Wars nerd. Mm.
This is what our podcast has amounted
Wow.
to.
There you go.
So yeah, we are here with Benjamin Gozel, filling in for Alfie Akers. Yeah.
I don't know if this.
You don't know if this
I
what.
don't know if this was a good idea in the first place.
So Ben is a friend of the show. You may have seen him in our video about the vote for the podcast for the British Podcast Awards. He's also you tell the people what you do.
Well, I was featured in Brandy Randy. Most episodes.
Yes.
Almost all of them as different characters. Mainly the Frenchman, as many people.
Yes.
What else? That's Boxman.
Boxman.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's a legend.
You gotta love that cardboard.
Yeah.
I got some right here from a beef
Casserole.
pepper steak and slice. Gotta love that.
Lovely, Ron. That's a good pepper steak, don't you, Ryan?
Yes. Not as good as a Greg Semi, but
oh no, not as good as a Greg Semi. But yeah, Semi. Well, you do photography as well. You're a photographer.
Yeah, I do photography, film especially.
Do you want to turn your microphone, Ryan?
Film.
There we go. No, I'm not snobby about film. I think it's an art form, but I think it's also for those with a lot of patience and people who can actually be asked.
Well, exactly, and Ben is one of those people.
Yeah.
Ben can spend his time, making, developing pictures.
I mean, I've witnessed it firsthand. It's like a
yeah. It can go very well or really, really wrong.
And the time I witnessed it, it went very wrong.
Yeah. That was horrible.
Yes.
So are we sort of starting off with Bicky Chat today?
Yeah, so we're on Bicky Chat today, guys. Lovely Bicky Chat. I've got some Cadbury snacks as my Bicky of choice. Don't know whether you guys are munching on anything, but
normally I munch on some Belvitas, but sadly I've eaten them all.
For some reason, I remember the last time I was around yours, there were a lot of Belvita boxes.
Yeah, you probably saw wrappers scattered around my room.
Yeah, but
just everywhere.
But yeah, I guess this is sort of a strange interview considering we've known you for like years. But we've got to do it. So yeah, Benjamin Gozel, everybody, photographer. You shoot on film, obviously.
Yeah, mainly.
Yeah, like I mean,
he listens to vinyl.
He listens to vinyl.
Yeah. Vinyl. My vinyl player is not.
No, that's where the old radio equipment is, right?
Yeah, my brother stole it, so
yeah,
kind of goes like that.
It's a shame. Well, why don't you run us through what got you into the big old photog, Ruffy?
Oh, photography. I don't really know. I just I like taking pictures on digital, and then my brother started shooting on film, and then it kind of went from there.
It was the sort of influence of him.
Quite nice.
Hold on.
It feels better because you actually have like a final product at the end.
Yeah, of course.
More physical. It's not like when you got.
Feel.
Yeah, because when you have like a digital photo, you can't just take the picture, and then that's it. You can't just forget about it. Yeah. And you can take like hundreds of like the same thing. That when it's film,
you got to get it right.
You just want to get it right.
Yeah.
Because first time, if you fuck up, well, you might be spending a quid on your shot. So yeah.
I mean, when I was last down yours, we went to the Weatherspoons.
Oh, yeah.
And so for those who don't know, obviously no one knows, but Ben is a resident of Ramsgate, a lovely seaside town in the UK.
With the world's biggest Weatherspoons.
With the world's biggest Weatherspoons.
World's biggest Weatherspoons.
For those who aren't from the UK. Weatherspoons is like a strange pub chain type thing. Like they're not called
Like a pub restaurant kind of thing.
restaurant kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have like Weatherspoons on the front, but they sort of just own a load of pubs. And the biggest one is in Ramsgate, where they actually serve cooked food, not microwaved food. You can see them making it. I remember they had like you can see the kitchen. Yeah,
Pretty mad.
yeah, it was
Fresh
pretty mad.
food.
Fresh
Especially
food.
in Ramsgate as well.
Yeah, especially in Ramsgate.
That's a big deal.
Well, I was particularly excited when we went to that Weatherspoons because I'd heard so many things about it.
Yeah, so hyped.
I was so hyped, and we got there, and I think what was it? I had a burger.
Of course you did. You always get a burger every
I had
week
a burger.
without fail.
It was very nice, and
I had my pizza.
You had a pizza,
and my spicy meat feast, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We were with your brother and his friend. I can't remember what they had.
Nah, I can't remember either.
But your brother was very foolish and encouraged us all to go sit outside on a very, very windy day.
Yeah, very windy day. Let's just say my pizza was pretty much stone cold when I got it.
Well, yeah, because you went to the toilet and then you didn't come back for a bit.
No, I went to get another roll of film at Boots, which
that
was
it. Yeah.
Bad mood.
Yeah. Like I pretty much finished my burger by the time you got back, and it was like,
pretty much. And it was just like, just try to eat as much
I
as I
think
can.
the last time I was in Ramsgate was when we stopped there for 2 minutes to change trains to go to the market.
yeah.
And that was like a year ago now.
It was officially a year ago.
It was when we saw Matt.
When we saw Mac live, which all three of us see. It was a lovely time. We saw Mac.
It was an amazing day, and Ryan finally went on some rides after much persuasion.
You say that like I've never been on a ride before. I have been on roller coasters.
So I remember a couple of days before we left. I went on the website and I was like, I wonder what they've got at Dreamland, like what rides and stuff they've got. And I saw they had Tower Drop, and I was like, we'll make you go on that one. He was like, oh, no. I was like, right, second best, we've got the Pendulum here. And you said to me, he said to me, you're never getting me on that ride. And I said, I think we are.
I mean, you did. The first time you didn't get me on, I just waited for you guys and saw Ben do his funny ride face. I won't say any more than that. But
and there's always that one guy. There's always that one person there who's like, yeah.
yeah. Well, I swear there was that guy. But yeah, I came on the second time after we'd I think it was just after we saw Yellow Days.
Yeah, it was after that.
Yeah, he was particularly good. But yeah, we got on there and I screamed my lungs out.
You did shit yourself, and you didn't. You took your glasses off as well, didn't you? So you look like an Asian tourist.
I didn't see anything.
I would have lost them though. That's the thing, you know.
Would have definitely.
And that's the thing. That's probably why you were screaming, because you were like.
Well, no. If anything, it was better because I couldn't quite make out a lot of what was going on. If I had them on, I probably would have freaked out more. But
probably.
Yeah, I'm a big pussy. I'm a massive pussy.
Mega pussy.
I reckon you'd have absolutely shat yourself if you could see what was going on.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, no, it was still a good time. I enjoyed it afterwards after we get off. And then that was when the big event went into place. It was Mac time. We got front row.
We got lucky, didn't we? Because we sort of thought, we thought, we'd wait there like a half an hour before and try and get.
I think it was an hour. We stood in there like just after the act before finished, and then
yeah, we kind of started going up to the front when like a couple of people started going up, and then we just all started flocking there so we could get the best.
Yeah, we've told the story before on the podcast with the two guys we met.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
Obviously, there was the mosh pit that opened halfway through, and
my god! No, but
the guy that me and Ben were talking to, sort of fell in, and we never saw him again.
We just looked back. He's there, and then we just like hear some noise. We look back, we see the guy, and he just gets fucking just pulled in. He's like, oh, he's gone. And we kind of like going like,
Yeah, me and
I
you, we were
remember-
just like huddled up.
I remember at
yeah,
one point when I
going in front, trying to not get
I,
absolutely.
I remember at one point when I turned around, I thought Ryan had got sucked into the sort of
Oh
the
no,
swarm.
Yeah.
we were lucky. I mean, you were like right up at the front where that bald girl got crushed. Bless her heart. I mean, she had it rough. She had it rough.
She was a cancer patient, Ryan.
She was not a cancer patient.
Yes, she
No,
was.
she wasn't.
Yes, she
wasn't.
was. She had
She
one of those
wasn't.
wristbands on. Ryan.
Oh my god.
She didn't.
Yes, she was.
She didn't.
She
And
was a cancer patient, Ryan.
you're saying that, but she didn't. We all had wristbands on, Luke. That was how we got in, you moron.
No.
As well.
She was not a cancer patient. She just shaved it for the look.
Oh, I got my water bottle signed by Mac.
Yeah,
Go on,
yeah.
mate.
Have you got it?
Yeah, I still got it. Yeah, I'll bring
Grab it, go grab it. Yeah, yeah. It was the water bottle and the pack of film, as I remember correctly.
We got some. We got this water bottle. So it's got Mac DeMarco's signature on it, with the pen he signed everyone's merch with.
Oh yeah,
And
there's a
then-
little bit of a story to that.
Yeah. What about the bottle?
About the pen.
About the pen? There's a longer story about. I mean, not really.
You gave
Well, he was.
the one who.
Everybody was like going up to him, and it was like, "Oh, can you sign us stuff?" And I was like, Mac was like, "Oh, I don't have a pen," and everyone was like, "Oh shit, none of us do." And I was like, "Haha, I got a pen." I just gave it to him, and he just signed everything.
Oh, thanks, dude. Let me sign your shit.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. He was shit faced though, and he was like, I think he was ill or something like that as well.
Well, it was the
So he-
after party as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, as well. Well, yeah. So he signed everyone's shit with it, and I kind of like waited. And I was like, "Oh, can you sign my shit?" Like last, and I was like, "Oh, can I have my pen back?" He's like, "Oh yeah, sure, dude." And so yeah, that happened. So I got my Kodak Color Plus 200 with Mac's signature in it.
I'm a little bit jealous because me and Ryan had to like go.
We had to get back on the train, back down
Yeah,
to
you can stay around mine. I was like, "Oh, you guys can stay around mine," and you're like, "Oh no, we're gonna go take the train." I was like, "See?"
I think it was because Luke, you had to be somewhere the next day or something.
I think
can't remember.
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
I think you might have
The
had to
after
go
party was pretty. It was alright. It was pretty mad because they were
I
playing
saw-
loud.
Yeah,
But
well, I saw the first time the other day a bit of footage of the after party because they had the 1 year anniversary stuff up on Facebook.
Yeah, and so there was that after party, and they were playing really loud music, and it was really bassy, and like the ceiling is really like in really shit condition,
Yeah.
and they play really loud music, and you just feel just dust falling on your head and falling in your cup of water, and like old gorillas like cups from like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, the Demon Days Festival. Yeah.
Probably like asbestos dust just in your
That's
cup.
right, didn't they have loads of leftover cups?
Mm.
Yeah, I think I've
Yeah.
probably got one somewhere.
They're all like Red Bull themed as well.
Maybe I have one. I got an
Oh,
old
yeah.
gorilla.
Yeah, I
Well-
remember you showed me the Red Bull.
Where would you say the sort of where would you say the sort of festival scene is in the UK then?
Well, definitely not Ramsgate, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It always tends to be the north, but us southeasterners, we were lucky that day.
Yeah, I was surprised that Mac chose Margate.
Well, I mean, it's cool because like both of and I guess all three of us, like two of our collectively favorite artists, have played there
Yeah.
in the most like previous 5 years. That being Gorillaz and Mac, who we will get onto later. Gorillaz with Plastic Beach,
Oh,
but yeah, no, it's quite cool. But yeah, so I think, I mean,
I mean, I was gonna say maybe we should transition into this week's film.
let's do the film. Yeah,
Oh.
why not?
I'm
Well,
sorry.
I say film, I mean documentary.
Well, it's still a film, isn't it?
Bit of both.
Bit of both. I think.
It's a genre of film.
Yeah. But when it comes down to it, you know, you had two options of what we were going to get as a final product for that video, and it was either going to be "Sudodu street art, what's it up, wow," or it was going to be what we did get in the end, which was exit through the gift shop.
Yeah.
What came up was good,
Yeah.
but then
So,
like the what it was supposed to be, and it was going to be like that.
yeah. Well, let's
I
run through the
I
plot
forgot
of it.
how much I enjoyed it.
It's very good. It's
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Go
not
on,
gonna
then,
lie.
do you want to take us through?
Yeah, so Exit Through the Gift Shop is a documentary released in 2010, directed by Banksy, and it follows a man called Terry Gietta as he followed street artists thanks to his cousin, who was a street artist named Space Invader, who put up little mosaic Space Invaders around France, as I seem to remember. Yeah. And through him, Terry met a bunch of other street artists, which led him eventually to Banksy.
Well, he moved to LA.
He moved to LA, yeah, when he was quite young, I assume. Yeah, with his wife and kids.
It was during the
And yeah,
80s, like
during
that.
the 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Maybe
slowly starts to exploit all these artists for footage for his fake documentary. And,
Yeah.
I think he was looking for a purpose of something to give it a name.
mhm,
Because
yeah.
people are like,
Yeah.
oh, why are you filming? Because sort of vlogging and stuff wasn't really a thing back then.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Nowadays, you'd have technically just been vlogging.
Well, yeah, because like he says at the start, or fairly early on, that it's like to do with the fact that he lost his mother quite early on,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and then
Filming.
like and then he didn't want to lose like a single memory of anyone, but yeah, and then he tried to justify it by making this street art documentary because he was having so much fun riding around with all these people, and
Yeah.
So he was a sort of thrill junkie, wasn't he?
mhm,
Mm,
was on
yeah,
the
proper. Climbing on top of roofs and in like
Yeah.
London.
Well, even down to the last sort of like 10 minutes of the film where he's getting his art installation ready, like he's still making terrible decisions and
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's the French for you there. They're just very.
Something.
I mean, we're talking about a film about this French art guy, and we've got a French art guy on
It's pretty.
the podcast.
I know.
You
What
know,
are the chances,
Oh,
eh?
what are the chances?
What are the chances?
Of all the days Alfie had to not come on, I mean, it's perfectly timed.
I know. I think it's fucking unbelievable. It's actually quite disgraceful. It's bang out of order. That's what it is.
It is.
I mean, maybe we just get rid of Alfie. That's it. You know.
All right.
God, I'm taking Alfie shit. Well, it's fun. I can just put my mask and I'm Alfie now. Fuck, guys. Me. I love Star Wars.
No, but I think if Alfie was here, he would agree with us that it's sort of a revolutionary film of its time because it shows a certain era in time of a movement which was happening, and it
depicts it at its peak and where it started to sort of drift off. And I think Banksy and maybe the Obey guy, I think those guys are still quite prominent. But
yeah.
What's his name?
I love the at the end when he says that Banksy will never do a documentary with anyone about that was funny.
Oh yeah, no, the whole thing is very, the way he sort of manipulates like everyone around him is very.
I think one of my favorite parts is towards the end, where it's probably about, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes towards the end, and Banksy goes, well, no, it's when he's talking about Terry's documentary, and he said, and I was watching this thing, and it was like someone was skipping through all the fucking channels. You couldn't think straight. It was a mind fuck of just shit.
Well, he calls it Life Remote Control, which is a terrible title, and it is literally just like that.
I mean, the closest thing I can relate it to is you wouldn't steal a car. Why would you steal a DVD?
Yeah, exactly like that. It's just the music, and that's it.
Yeah. And it's also strange because he obviously tried to go for this very DIY home video look, and then somehow Banksy pulled it off better, like later on in the film. But it also was very traditional. Like it had the talking heads interviews. It had
the guerrilla filmmaking.
it had all the guerrilla filmmaking in it, and yeah, it was interesting. The thing I found very interesting is Terry's art that he makes during the end.
Well,
It's terrible. It's
not
really
really
terrible.
It's not really his art.
no, it's sort of
No.
it's his minions.
He literally hired people to make art.
Yeah,
He's pretty much making an art factory.
yeah. And there's that book that one of his guys that works for him has, where Terry's just jotted down like, oh, can you take that and put it with that?
Oh yeah.
So he's literally stealing from multiple people.
Yeah,
like
it's
one
just
piece.
ripping off.
Yeah.
Like instead of the Campbell soup, he did like the Campbell like huge spray can.
Oh yeah. The
Which is
tomato
like-
spray.
It's pretty
Yeah.
much a Steve Warhol.
Yeah, it's
And
he's the shit Warhol.
And his excuse for it was, Warhol died and he sort of fell off, and I'm here to bring him back.
Yeah, it's.
I did have a look after I finished watching a little bit about what Terry's done since, and he's sold all of his like artwork to people like really rich, famous people like the Kardashians and Kanye West and that. Like, it's mad how they'll lap up that the shit that he's made when there's literally better versions out there that they could easily afford, which his stuff is based off of. It's strange.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But
I think that's it,
but-
though. One of the things that I think makes really clear when you watch it is you can basically do anything as long as you've got the clout behind it. You can name your price,
yeah,
and
And like people to back it up.
and it
pretty much.
completely, I think it completely takes the piss out of the art world.
yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah.
Well, at the end, it's like, oh, like one of the guys is like, oh, it's like a huge joke, but like the joke, we don't really know who it's on. It's on pretty much everyone, because it just shows you can pretty much make any shit and sell it.
Yeah, slap any bullshit meaning behind it.
Yeah, and it can be like ripped off of like anyone, and it still sells. Yeah, you just need the following really as well.
I mean, we've talked about some like films with ambiguous meanings sometimes in the past on the show before, and I think like in that way that kind of subscribes to that, like in that fact that like you have to dig a little bit deeper to get the meaning. And sometimes, like when we talked about First Reform, we obviously also talked about how the director literally outright said what the meaning of the film ended, the meaning of the film's end meant, and it throws it all away, the meaning. It's a mad world, but
it's just the idea that you can completely crush an entire sort of revolution of ideas that basically art is this unique thing which has to be dumbfounded from years. All it is just what people's personal opinions are and how much sort of advertising you get towards it.
And the genre sort of dies as he makes all the Mr. Brainwash stuff. It's very
that's the thing. And it's quite funny how like people actually say, "Oh, you should make more." Like, "Oh, this is what LA really needs," and all that. It's kind of weird because it's out there. It's not really.
Yeah, LA's covered in it. Like you can walk down any sidewalk and you'll find it. So.
And another thing, like Banksy doesn't really like it when people sell like his work, like street art and stuff like that, because it's supposed to be like, for everyone.
And that's valid as well.
The guy pretty much does like the complete opposite. He can't make street art, but like you can buy it for like really, really expensive.
Yeah, he'll just throw out a price. It'll be like 18,000, 30,000.
Yeah.
You look
Like
at
someone would buy it.
You look at someone like Banksy though, and you think, well, he shredded his own piece of work that went to auction.
Yeah.
And then increase the value of it
He wanted to do auction.
Yeah.
Because it's like he just wants it to be like street art, like free. No one needs to really pay for it. He wants to be like, he doesn't want it to be in someone's house, just in there, and then that's it. He wants like people to see it.
Well, it's like the song at the start says, the streets are ours. I mean,
I mean, the thing that I always found interesting. So I don't know if you've been to Brighton the last 4 or 5 years. There was always the gay policeman on the side of the theatre.
Oh yeah,
building.
of course, yeah, the kissing policeman.
And they probably in the last year or so they removed it, but they cut the piece of wall out.
Yeah.
And I think I think they sold it to a private collector.
Well,
You know
that's even more bleak because there's that shot. There's there's a scene in Children of Men where that piece itself is in this guy's like art collection. So it's literally becoming, you know, reality really.
Yeah. Also, another painting that's been removed is the one in Dover, the one with the Europe one. Yeah, for Brexit one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
quite. I think what was it? We all went on a school trip. I don't know if you were there, Ben, but I was
I
with
definitely
Luke.
not there, no.
It was when we went to this castle, and I'm pretty sure we drove by it because our
Oh,
drama
you went to
teacher,
Dover Castle, yeah.
but our drama teacher was particularly excited to see that.
Oh.
But yeah, we saw that one firsthand, luckily, and actually we saw two that day, really, because we came through High Halden, and there's obviously the one on the corner shop. Which is
Oh
great.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
High Halden.
Yeah.
There's one in High Halden.
Yeah, the one on the corner shop. Because
don't
I was doing like a sort of Kent tour, like while we were on the way to Dover. I was like, and that's where the High Halden Banksy is. I was like, but yeah, yeah. I mean, his work is like, he is legit, like probably the most popular artist living right now. I think.
Yeah.
You have to say that.
And no one knows really who he is, which is
No one
also
knows who he is.
for like over God knows how many years.
Yeah,
And
I mean, there's been all the theories that he's like Jamie
Yeah.
Hewlett, some guy called Oliver.
that's only theories, really.
Yeah.
That's all you have.
Why High Halden?
Why? Well, I don't know. Oh no, yeah, I know why. So basically, they always used to have this British flag hanging off of the side of the store, and he spray painted it to look like it was a bunch of kids raising the flag and saluting
Oh,
it. Yeah,
that makes sense for him holding the thing. I thought he was like poking like the electricity box because I thought that was an
It
electricity
does
box.
look like that now, yeah,
looks
because they've taken down the flag, which is annoying.
No, the
Yeah.
flag's back up again.
Hmm?
The flag's
No, it's not.
the flag is back. They've put it back up.
I mean, I drove past it the other day. I didn't see it.
Yeah, right.
But yeah. So a few Kent locations.
Yeah,
of
I think he's
Banksy
a
art
really strange artist because he's around and he isn't.
Mhm. And you also get a really good sense of his personality whilst not knowing him at all. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I think this
He's not
documentary
He's
really
not there.
does bring that out as well. He's actually a really funny guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Very. I think I noticed something in his accent. He sounds very Mancunian, a bit Manchestery. I don't know. There's a few times where the muffle slips. Speaking of that as well, that's sort of where a bit of inspiration came for a men and women character, White Nose. There.
Yeah, I suppose subconsciously it did.
Yeah.
I think because it was around that time when I watched it, and
Mhm.
I think it was an influence which I thought, oh, I like that idea. And
Yeah.
I think because it's a way of filmmaking where you can keep someone's sort of identity masked but still get a feeling for who they are.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's
Mm.
very exciting. But yeah, I mean, I think that's as much as we can say on it. It's a really interesting documentary. It's a great presentation.
It's one of those documentaries where if you have no interest in it, you can still watch it and get something from it.
Yeah, and like it's not like there's anything else underneath it. You get the sense that, well, some art is just meaningless, and yeah, it's a good time.
I think as a documentary, I think I'd probably it's one of my favourites. It's up there with some really great ones such as
Grizzly
Man.
Yeah, Bananas.
It's very similar vibes.
Yeah. Well, you've seen Bananas, haven't you, Ben?
Yeah, I've seen Bananas. Bananas is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give it a 5 personally. It's one of my favorite docs.
I think I'd probably give it a 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, same probably.
Purely just because I consume a lot of documentaries, and I think I've seen better.
Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah,
definitely worth a watch. So
definitely worth a watch. It's got the Loudmouth seal of approval. It's on YouTube for free. You can literally go and watch it right now if you want.
I find this funny. This is something I was going to mention. Was so he originally did charge for the film, and he still does if you get it on Amazon. And I just think, well, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? Because you sort of vandalise property, and do
Yeah.
it for nothing. Your film sort of has been vandalized.
Well, I think that's sort of the point. I don't think he cares. Like, he's just like, yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
I've made my money off of it.
Yeah.
Ironic.
But yeah, cracking thing. Check it out. And for next week, we will be watching Seven Psychopaths by Martin McDonough, writer and director of In Bruges and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Fantastic film by one of my favorite filmmakers. Yeah,
It's good. It's a good film.
it's a good film. Hopefully, Alfie will be here for that one.
I mean, hopefully, yeah. I haven't really seen much of him. Really, he just sort of
he ditched us for a party. He just ditched us for a party.
Ooh,
Fair enough. I mean, he wouldn't do the same.
over.
But yeah.
So you mentioned to me before we came on here that you have we change of plans with the album that we were going to choose. This
Well, I
week.
mean, it was Alfie's choice, so I think it's only fair to wait until he's back to talk about that one.
But you've changed your mind to something more fitting to our.
Well, it's
episode this
something.
week.
It's something that we can all talk about, really, because we all love it dearly.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. It's by a band that we hold near and dear to all of our hearts. It's
Went to see them in Margate and Paris.
yeah, I saw them in the Brighton, which we previously mentioned.
I've never seen them, but a little fun fact: my sister used to date Jamie Hewlett's son.
We're throwing that out there. Denon, director of Reject False Icons, the documentary.
So that's my claim to fame.
That's your claim.
I mean,
But,
you get something.
yeah, I mean, you probably have met Mr. Hewlett at some point.
I think so. My sister's met
J-Dog.
him.
Yeah,
My sister has met Jamie Hewlett. I probably have, but I don't remember it.
yeah.
But there you go.
There you
That's
go.
what it is, isn't it?
What did he?
They make some very good music.
Yeah, so the album by them that we're talking about today, Gorillaz is Plastic Beach. Their best
great.
record and my favorite album ever, really.
As I say, it's always been one that you've raved about for years.
Yeah, it's my favorite Gorillaz one. I suppose I should consult you guys as well where you think it rates in the Gorillaz albums. What do you think, Ben? Is it better than Demon Days? Because that's the general consensus. I always go,
I would say it's better than Demon. I prefer than Demon Days.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they're
I
both
don't know.
perfect albums.
They're
That's the
really
problem.
close. They're really close. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I probably like it a bit more.
Yeah, I think because with Plastic Beach, I can put that on at any point, and Demon Days, like sometimes you have to be in a specific mood for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
What do you
And
think, Luke?
Well, personally, I don't think it really compares to Saturn's Bars.
Just that song.
No,
Just
I'm
that
joking.
song.
I'm joking. I can't stand Saturn's Bars. I think Plastic Beach, out of all the albums that Gorillaz have ever made, I think it's one of those. It's easy listening, and it all just seems to seamlessly go together
Yeah.
really nicely.
Yeah,
And obviously, the normal main consensus is that Demon Days is the best Gorillaz album.
But we ain't no normies.
Don't get me wrong, though. I love a lot of the stuff that is on Demon Days, but a lot of the stuff on Plastic Beach is better. Sort of Empire Ants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big tune.
Great song. It's
Yeah.
got
Got a Plastic
great tunes.
Yeah, and it's also a really good like concept as well because you've got the story that's surrounded the album as well, and the music video.
Hello, is anybody there?
Well,
Hello.
that's the self-titled album. But no, yeah, the music videos are the best they've ever been in the Plastic Beach era, without a doubt.
Wasn't it 2010?
2010, yeah. We've covered
Yeah.
three things from 2010 this
Yeah.
episode. Funnily enough,
This 2010.
we love
it's-
the year of 2010. Well, a lot of great stuff happened in 2010. You got the LCD sound system, This Is Happening record. You got loads of
Yeah.
good stuff. But yeah, no. So, for those unaware, Plastic Beach centers around an island where the fictitious band records the music and the stories that happen upon it. It's an island out in the middle of the Pacific, built up by plastic that has culminated from swimming around in the ocean and formed this island. Which is now an actual thing, apparently. There is an island out there that is completely made of plastic waste, which is worrying.
That's when
considering
everyone's going to live now. He's just going to live on that
he's just going to live on that island.
It's
But
concerning, isn't it?
it is concerning.
it's
And considering this
concerning.
is a 2010 album, like it's still relevant to today.
A lot of stuff.
predicting for it.
They're a band which is very much, they are, people say, oh, they're not political. They are political in the fact that they do sort of, they're very relevant to common themes that happen in the 21st century.
Yeah. All their albums have got definitely a lot of political underlying themes. I mean, the biggest ones on here probably Pirate Jet, Some Kind of Nature. You know, those songs really go into detail about like, oh, you really have fucked up the planet, haven't you, everyone? Like,
Yeah.
The descriptive like lyrics on Some Kind of Nature. What is it? There's the lyric about the plastic sculptures and stuff,
And
styrofoam.
digital-
Yeah. And then of course you've got Plastic Beach, which is sort of like almost the theme song in a way of this world.
Yeah.
It just describes the island to you. But then also you've got the love ballad type songs like what do you call it? You said it earlier. Why am I forgetting it?
Empire Ants.
Empire Ants and To Binge.
Well,
Yeah.
Empire Ants, I always see as sort of two songs in one.
Well, yeah, of course. There's the big switch up.
Personally, I prefer the second half of the song every time.
Obviously, I like the first half. It's interesting.
I like both.
I love both. Yeah, I love both. But to pick a favorite, I just love it when Damon goes all acoustic.
I think I just like the female vocals. They're very.
Oh yeah, Little Dragon's great on it, and she's great on To Binge as well. Because she's literally on 2 songs on the album, which is great.
Live, I can't really say so much.
I mean, you kind of have to be there to see it. I didn't get to see Empire Ants live, unfortunately, but I'm sure it does hit very good.
But nothing beats Shaun Ryder from Demon Days.
We're talking about the Dare live performance.
I know. We're supposed to be talking about Plastic Beach, but if we're going to talk about Gorillaz,
We just talk about Gorillaz in general.
if we're going to talk about that in general, I think my one goal is to see them do an entire Demon Days tour again, and to see Shaun Ryder with a couple of drinks down him, go, it's coming up, it's there. Ah.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, please go on YouTube and look up Shaun Ryder Dare live in Manchester. It is
fucking shit.
It's quite a sight. Because what's the main lady who sings? On
I forget her name,
but she's completely sober, and she's looking at him. And he's there, going, "It's coming up," and you can see
he's trying to light up a cigarette on stage.
Yeah, and you can see the silhouette of Damon Albarn pissing himself on the piano.
Yeah, it's great, and he misses a bunch of his cues, and
it's there.
It's a fantastic live performance in general. It's a shame they never did another song with Shaun Ryder, but I suppose he's sort of gone off the deep end. Really, he looks like a little elf now.
He's a skinhead now.
Well, yeah, he's probably had a bunch of hair loss from the amount of drugs and alcohol he's consumed in his life.
He was part of the band, what were they called?
The Happy Mondays.
The Happy Mondays. And that was, you can sort of get, he was from the sort of 80s, and it was a pretty intense.
Well, they were pretty rock and roll people. I mean, Bez as well. He's done some mad stuff. There's a great story on YouTube that I watched from this like talk show where Shaun Ryder talks about him and Bez getting high in a display tent in a Wilkinson's, and like it's cracking stuff. I'd recommend
in a Wilkinson's.
In a Wilkinson's.
That's the Ramsgate Wilkinson's. Just
you'll have to send that to me because that sounds
great.
Like a right.
Any Wilkinson's is like just it's not nice
Mad.
to go into.
I think for me personally, Gorillaz has always been a part of my life because of you introducing me to the full extent of Gorillaz. Because obviously everyone has heard "Feel Good Inc." It's just a known
Yeah. Feel
that
Good Inc. and Clint Eastwood. Like
those
fuck
two
away
tracks
from
were the ones which just sort of blew the group up, and that was what
Yeah.
everyone knows them for. Because a lot of the Gorillaz stuff isn't for everyone. I'm going to be honest. If you like Feel Good Inc. and Clint Eastwood, and you're sort of a more
Well, yeah,
flatline.
they're drastically different to like everything else they've made.
Exactly. So I think it takes a little bit of understanding to sort of be able to consume
Yeah.
the songs. I mean, if you want to listen to sort of revolving doors, what have I become?
I mean, the full ain't a great album. Like I say that as a Gorillaz fan, but like it's got like 3 or so good songs on it, and it's just like it's just
Oh,
there.
we've got a good evening from Liv. She joins us at 7:41.
Our number one fan, Liv Kelly.
I know. Alfie's hair's grown out, so he's
Yeah, yeah. Alfie's grown his hair out, got a mustache.
Proper long.
My
Proper
God, how'd you let your hair get that long? I mean,
You just
my
got
hair's
really
really,
It
my
gets
hair's
longer
really
every
long.
time I see him. Like it's gorgeous though. It's gorgeous.
Like in 10 years, you're just gonna see me. I'm just gonna have a trail of hair.
To be honest, I think you'd suit what are they called
Dreads.
dreads. I think you suit dreadlocks.
Dreads
Oh,
are horrible.
No.
Dreads are horrible. They're disgusting.
Please don't get dreads, Ben.
Just a knot of hair. It's
Alfie's
just
new look.
horrible.
Alfie's new look, everyone. Yeah.
Get the alpha.
But yeah, back to Plastic Beach. I think my favorite song on the whole album, personally, is Some Kind of Nature. It's just a masterpiece.
Some kind of nature.
You've got the great vocals from Lou Reed, but it's also it's very I won't say it's experimental because it's a very simple track, you know, hook, chorus, hook. But the instrumental is really glitchy is the word I'd use to describe it.
No, I'm not a fan of Some Kind of Nature. I thought it was one of the weaker tracks. on the
Really?
album. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Some
my
Intro-
favorite.
Some of
That's my
my favourites are Empire Ants.
Empire Ants is obviously great.
Obviously,
I
Plastic Beach. As
Plastic
a
Yeah.
song.
Plastic
that-
Beach.
The start to
Stylo
that.
is one of my favorites.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
All right,
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
Yeah, Stylo, all right. Ugh.
I'm gonna have to get it up because I don't know every song on the album like you
Well,
two do.
Stylo-
Obviously, I've heard them
I
enough
can't
to.
remember their names very well. I just
Stylo is da 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 dum.
Yeah, no, I know what it is, Ryan. I know.
I'm just checking.
Yeah. No, what we got here? Orchestral intro. That one's always a great one to hear.
Yeah, we love orchestra. Oh yeah, what do you think of the Snoop Dogg "Welcome to the World of the
the
Plastic"?
Snoop. That's the best. That just tops it all.
Another
That shit.
couple
Snoop
of my
Dogg?
favourites.
Yeah,
Another couple
that's
of
the best. That's
couple
the
of
song.
favourites are Pirate Jet and Broken.
Broken's great, yeah.
And then, I think is it Glitter Freeze that I like. I think. It's
Oh yeah, Glitter Freeze is bombastic. No, Luke, turn it off. Turn it off.
Rhinestone's good.
Rhinestone Eyes.
My
is
favourite bit.
amazing. No, Luke, you can't play it. You
You're gonna
can't
get
play it.
copyright. Ah!
You can't
Where's
play
North from here?
it. Yeah.
Sweepstakes as well. Sweepstakes pretty mad.
Sweepstakes, yeah. Oh, I mean, we have a sort of a personal connection with
Yeah, we
Sweep.
got a connection over that one.
We used to taunt our friend Moena because it sounded like they said his name in the song, so we'd be like, "Yo, Moena, sweepstakes."
Rhinestone Eyes. Rhinestone Eyes is another good one. And
It's
White Flag.
White Flag, yeah. White Flag's a cracking one.
When I think of their sort of albums, I always think they're spontaneously random. So they feel different every time you listen to them. So they got like a different vibe each time.
Oh, sure, yeah. I think that's the best
But
part.
each track is like some of them, like you'll be listening to an album and be like, oh, this is really solid and it's a great track, and then it just goes really fucking weird. It's like, Damon Albarn goes a bit nuts on the melodica.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also thematically as well. Like sometimes it'll be like a really chill song, and then it'll be like, oh, I want to dance to this now. It's like they're very infectious, like songs and albums, really
But at the
experiences.
same time, I can't say that for a wider audience. I can't always agree on that because yes, if you like gorillas, you're of course you're going to do that. But if you're not a fan of sort of some of their more outlandish stuff, then you're just not going to click with it like we do.
Mm.
Sure, sure. I think the most inaccessible Gorillaz record to an extent is probably the first one. I mean, it's a great album. It's one of my other favorites. It's my second favorite actually, but it's very strange. Like it's got a lot of the load of dub tracks like Sunshine and stuff, and obviously M1A1. And
Oh,
it's
but
got
that's a great song.
it's a great song and Slow Country. They're very odd tunes, but like I think Plastic Beach is sort of ahead of it on that. The breakout single on Melancholy Hill is definitely the most widely known tune from this. I know people who don't really listen to the band, and the last song they can remember listening to by them is that song. So I think this album does have its one stick out track, and it doesn't get tiresome like Feel Good Inc. and Clint Eastwood do for me personally. I mean, I love both those tracks, but also they get overplayed to the point where it's like I don't know if I want to hear it again, you know.
Yeah,
But
it does. Like at one point, it's so played that you're hearing it like, nah, I'll just skip.
yeah, I'll skip that one. I mean, but we say that as like big Gorillaz fans. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, they are great tracks, but it's just like
overplayed. Yeah.
there's better ones. I mean, what's your favorite from the Plastic Beach then, Benny?
I don't know. There's a lot. They're all pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would
Sweet,
probably say I really like Plastic Beach. That's definitely one I really like.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, it was my ringtone for the last 2 years until recently. So
otherwise, I don't know. They're all really good. I mean, the one that I don't really like is the one which is like, "Where's North from here?" I
oh,
can't
you
remember.
don't like Glitter Freeze?
No, I don't like that one. It's just
Interesting.
I don't know. I never really had an appeal to it. It's just really
Sure.
I
I
don't
mean,
really like. It's probably that.
yeah, it's a very moody, like not moody, but you know, you have to be in the right mood for it.
I
Track.
think
Yeah,
I think
it's a
for
lot of
me,
good.
I think for me the reason why I like that track is because when I saw them do it live, it really
Oh,
I
the
sort
live performance of it's
I
great.
I think
Yeah,
the fact that they use the light and it's like, "Where's North from here?"
and the visuals they have as well are great. Like the pirate ship, with all the distorted footage. That one's great.
Mm,
Their live visuals are amazing and really great to see
yeah.
Well,
on the
they've
big screen.
that's what they've done for their entire career, and only now are they starting to show themselves in the last like sort of 5 years, five
Well,
six
yeah,
years.
I mean, we've got Song Machine now, the new project that's currently
Yeah.
going on at the moment, and those have all been really good. I mean, the most recent one was like, it's okay, but the next one's going to be really good by the sound of things. But we've had like
Big
some of the best music they've released since Plastic Beach, like Desolé and Aries.
Desolé is a great song, and I think it's also a much more accessible song.
Yeah, that's very Plastic Beachy, that song, but it's like, I mean, maybe not the horn section bit because that's a bit out of left field, but yeah, great track nonetheless.
Liv says that was your ringtone.
It was my ringtone.
What
It
do you
was my
what have you got now?
Well, Luke, it's on silent. It's not gonna play.
We won't get copyright for these. That's
No,
the
I
thing.
know we won't. So
Oh,
the context behind that is there's an advert that was played in a lot of cinemas before a film of these cats. It was for the milkshake brand Crusher, and these cats would play this little song, as you just heard, where they'd go, "I want some Crusher, a glass of Crusher. It's just enough to make me shake. I want some Crusher, a glass of Crusher. It's
To
nothing
make
that-
me.
it's just enough to make milkshake.
Oh, okay, makes
But
sense.
yeah, it's a good. It's just funny. I mean, look out for yourself.
It's just memorable, really.
It's
Just
memorable.
it's memorable.
Yeah, I cannot
it.
believe that is your ringtone. There you go. I mean, that's what it is. So, ratings for the album, boys. What are we gonna give Old Plastic Beach? I'm just watching Luke's freak out at the ringtone in the comments. It's cracking.
Who's going first?
I mean, you can go first. You are the guest. Guest goes first.
I don't know. I'd say a solid 5.
5 out of
Five.
5.
Yeah,
I mean,
5.
it's a
5
master.
out of 5. Yeah, it's great. Pretty much all the songs are really good,
Yeah.
apart from the ones that are overplayed. But you know, all
I
really
think
good.
I think I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 as well, and it's probably one Gorillaz track which I can really rate as a sort of one that I will happily
A whole
listen
cohesive project. Yeah.
One that I will happily listen to all the way through, because even Demon Days, as much as it's a good album, I wouldn't listen to the whole thing all the way through and enjoy it.
Yeah, of course. 5 out of 5 for me. I mean, it's my favorite album ever made. It's a masterpiece. Can't not recommend it. New comment about the Crusher. Absolute scenes when that came on at the theatre. Liv says it's a true fact.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I mean, actually, speaking of theatres, just going back to that again, and just sort of films in general, I got a subscription to Apple TV Plus yesterday.
Oh right, yeah.
And there's a new Tom Hanks thing coming out on there today.
Oh, the submarine boat thing,
which looks okay.
It doesn't look good. No, it doesn't.
Anything with Tom Hanks looks okay.
It's because it's Tom Hanks and he can play anyone, but the film itself looks boring.
What do you think of that though? Because Apple are trying to put all this money into making their own. Sort of
so they've recently snatched up that new Scorsese film with Leo and Robert De Niro in, which is like coming out in a couple of years. And that was going to be just distributed by Paramount. So that's like the only thing I'm really looking forward to. They haven't got a good selection, and from what I hear, a lot of the shows on there aren't very good. Like that's the problem. He's a naval officer, right? Okay, so yeah, it's Navy movie. I don't care. I'm not interested.
You see, I think Liv's backing me up on this one that it might be all right.
She's
but it's going to be better than the Meg.
Said he's a naval officer. But
I know, but she's corrected you because you said, "Hey, he's in charge of submarines and that."
All right, whatever. Anyway, I'm personally not interested in it. I just think what's their flagship thing, the morning show.
That's the thing they really tried to plug, but to be honest, I don't really think Jennifer Aniston's going to bring it in for everyone.
Yeah. The morning show was meant to be incredible, but there isn't much else on there that's decent at all. I wanted to check out the M. Night Shyamalan Servant show because that was meant to be okay. Luke, turn it off.
Yeah.
I heard that was meant to be okay, but no, I haven't checked it out. But yeah. I don't know. I'm not really that interested in whatever's on there. There's that show that Kumail Nanjiani wrote about the immigrants in America. But yeah, I don't know. Just couldn't be bothered with Apple TV Plus.
I think until something really revolutionary comes out, that's when they'll get more people. They're
putting out. This sounds strange, but they're putting out very TV shows. Like, if you look at stuff on Netflix, it's very cinematic in a way, like with Stranger Things and stuff. Watch Hamilton. That's a good shout from Liv there. If you are going to watch anything at the moment,
I can't bring myself to watch it.
But why is that, Luke? Because it's popular?
No, not necessarily. It just feels too... yeah.
It feels too... No, Luke, I could say take my word on this. I wasn't very excited before I watched
No,
it.
but just
I watched it, and it's the best film technically that I've seen
let
all
me
year.
get this straight. Let me get this straight then. So it's a filmed theatre production then.
Yes, and it's
Right.
the way it's filmed is.
But is it filmed?
Extraordinary.
Is it filmed from like one angle in the audience, or
No,
is it
of
filmed?
course not. Of course not. They've got multiple angles. They've got shots on stage.
Okay, so it's a little bit like when I went to go see the version of Meatloaf.
I don't know that, but
Oh, it was amazing. It was so theatrical. It was so.
well, I mean,
him.
you'll love this then. It's very good. But yeah, do watch Hamilton if you're watching. Just anyone.
Okay then. I might go and watch it.
I mean, you have Disney Plus, so go watch it. That's my recommendation for this week. I've watched it twice. I watched it once by myself and once with my mother. She is a big fan. Yeah. But yeah, Hamilton. But
We've had a different show this week. It's been
Yeah.
more mixed up, I'd say. We got
More mixed.
our lovely host this week. Maybe we'll have to have Ben back.
we will have to
Maybe.
have him back at some point.
Maybe we'll have to have him back.
In person at some point.
Maybe
as
we'll have
well.
to have Alfie here as well.
Yeah, definitly.
I mean,
Four.
if we think about it, Alfie's just sort of a guest now, isn't he? He can come and go.
Why are you being so harsh on him? God damn.
And maybe we should get the special guest Liv on the show.
Yeah, Liv can come on. It'd be good.
You know, she's always in the comments, so I'm sure she's got an opinion
I'm
to
sure
share.
I'm sure she'd love to be on.
She
And
doesn't
I'm just having
really.
5 people on. Just all 5 people on.
I mean, Alfie can have his break and come back when he's ready.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this might be it.
This sounds so spiteful. We're not slagging you off, Alfie. If he is watching this in the future.
Toto's watching it right now.
I mean, Luke is, but
You what?
Ben, I am coming for your spot. But anyway,
Ain't happening.
shall we wrap things up then, lads?
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah,
today, Ben.
thanks for coming on, Ben.
It's a nice, relaxed episode this week.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
it was you were a lovely placeholder. Maybe a permanent fixture one day. That'd be
Permanent
great.
fix. That'd be very nice.
Yeah.
If we give him a haircut, then maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, is there anything you want to plug, like your Instagram or whatever? Whether
I guess Instagram out. My Instagram is at Benjamin Bozel. Yeah, pretty much just my photography Instagram.
Cool.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. All right. You can always find me youtube.com/RyanPStudios, Twitter RyanP Studios, Letterboxd RyanP Studios, and that's it. Oh, and also one last thing. Thank you to everyone who voted for us in the British Podcast Awards. The voting is now closed.
It'll be announced this weekend.
It'll be announced this weekend whether we did any good. So that'll be exciting.
Maybe we should do a live stream on that day.
Maybe.
My name is obviously Luke. Hi. No, we're very appreciative of all the support we got on the podcast awards, and we're very grateful for everyone's continued support of that. And hopefully, we at least got a ranking on the Listener's Choice Award.
Yeah,
So
fingers crossed. Yeah.
hopefully, we'll be on the list somewhere, if it's not the 300th place or whatever.
Hey, 300's better than 1,000th.
Exactly. You can try me on Twitter at Ryan P Studios, or
Wait,
you
what?
can, or you can try me at Luke Hearn Brown, which might work better for you.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I think I'm DJ Lukey on Letterboxd, and
Yes.
just Luke Hearn Brown on Instagram. So yeah, if you want to follow me on there, you're very welcome to.
Well, there you go. I didn't notice that. Well, on that note, we will see you next week, everyone. Au revoir. Oh, gosh. He's not going to end it. He's just going to make it awkward. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Good time. He's still not ending it.
He's not ending it. He just wants to get it to the hour mark. Sorry for everyone.
Do you want me to show me my cameras, you know?
Oh yeah, let Ben show his cameras.
Oh, you were just showing like, okay, wow.
We're just gonna transition into chaos right now,
Oh,
very quickly. for
cameras.
these last
Wow,
10
it's my Hasselblad. Highly
Yeah,
highly
okay.
modded. Oh, there
Well,
you go.
See y'all later. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.
I've passed the hour mark now. Shit.
End it, Luke. End it. Honestly.